Good morning everyone, I'm Zoe Barrow and today I welcome you to Hepburn Magazine's interview series. Today we are filming the Amazing Australian segment and today I'm joined with Peta Warby. Peta is a business owner and I'm so excited to chat with her today about her current projects and future endeavours. So good morning Peta, how are you?
Very well, thanks Zoe. I'm very excited about doing this interview.
Yes, me too. Well, let's get into it. So you're the founder and managing director of a few small businesses. So I've got Tsunami, 0468 Health and Micro Meals, is that correct?
Yes, that is.
And can you tell me a little bit about those businesses?
Okay, Micro Meals was birthed about 3.5 years ago after I had weight loss surgery. I was 120 kilos and now 66, so I've pretty much lost a whole body from using that tool. It definitely wasn't an easy ride, and there was a lot of things that I found out through that process that have given me a lot of insight and made my future endeavours that I'm now currently doing a lot more plausible and appropriate for the industry. I also have 0468 Health, which is a holistic health practitioner sort of business that we have that is dedicated to actually doing personalised, individualised, holistic health. So anyone who's actually screamed out, nothing works for me, nothing's ever worked for me, I'm sick of diets, rah rah.
Yes.
Well, guess what? That's right. Every single body is different. Like every single body is different. They're not going to respond to the same different stimuli. 20% of our makeup is from our genes. The other 80% is 100%. Like is you.
Yeah.
It is your lifestyle, your body, your habits, your behaviours, how much food you consume, your movement. And by that I don't mean go and do 12-week challenges and slaughter yourself at the gym, because not everybody is designed to actually do that. Some bodies are going to respond better to Tai Chi than doing a 500 metre row really quickly. So that's where I've really looked at it, and it's a space where if I could actually look at things in perspective and go, there's so much noise in the industry around health at the moment. Every second ad on TV, every second Facebook ad, everything on the media is all about health. But it's infuriating me because they're actually trying to give everyone blanket solutions, and we are not the same, and there's no way in hell I should be eating the same as you, or I should be doing the same exercise as you, or I should actually be doing the same habitual things. And I don't respond to, I may not have the love of food that you have, or I may not have the love of exercise that you have. So there's no giving us the same plan to do is not going to work. And when people actually can get it through their head that they need to look at things from a me perspective, I need something that's going to work for me. I need something that is individualised to me, my genes, my lifestyle, my habits. And look at it from that perspective, they're actually going to see long-term success, and they may not have to result in going to the extremes that I did by having to have a surgery to force me to develop those mindsets and develop those habits and those behaviours.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Especially on social media at the moment, everything is, like you said, a blanket. We're hearing so much health advice from influencers and people who haven't had nutrition backgrounds. So I guess with your products, are you saying that more of a lifestyle change?
It comes down to a lifestyle change, but it also comes down to you actually putting you first. And it may be as simple as instead of having a coffee in the run in the morning, and that is your staple breakfast that you've had for the last 5 years or 10 years in corporate, that's your go-to. It may just be as simple as putting a scoop of P360 or having our coffee collagen to stimulate your body from the inside out, to actually start regulating and improving your body from the inside out, and getting that health and nutrition side of things going, getting those hormones starting to regulate, upsetting those little things that you didn't really want to bring up, and getting them to come out. And once you've dealt with them, then you can actually go, oh, that wasn't really that hard. Why have I held that in?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely, and I've already tried the super bone broth and I thought it was delicious. How did you come up with the flavours, or what inspired that?
I'm a bit of a foodie. I love food, I love the taste, I love the texture, and it's got to have an aroma. So I I like to be able to smell it, taste it, and feel it doing good for me. And whenever I have a look at my products, that's the sensation that I want to be able to impart to my audience and my customers, is that you can look out there and go, oh, there's like other collagens on the market. It's like, yeah, but you actually feel this, and it's like having a big warm hug, having a super bone. Like you just sit there and go, it tastes like my grandma's chicken recipe.
It does, yes, I can vouch for that.
And it is literally sending 10,000 little amino acids around your body, looking at what's not functioning properly and sending call to actions to your brain to go, oi, we need to do some renos, we need to fix some stuff up here, we need to start stimulating the body and making the hormones work properly. That thyroid hormone is like misfiring something fierce. That's why you're stressing out and why things aren't working. So it's all about actually getting your body to stimulate itself, to fix itself.
Yeah.
So it's a natural product. There's no horrible fillers or anything in it. They are natural products that are there to help your body stimulate itself from the inside out to optimize your own health and make a difference.
Yeah, I feel like it will make a difference, all that nutrients and goodness into your body. I guess my next question is, obviously your weight loss journey was probably one of the reasons what inspired you to start a business, but was there any other reason?
It was interesting, so I started off with micro meals, and it was all about weight loss and tackling the health challenges out there with lifestyle diseases. However, the more and more I looked into it, having something that is going to just address portion control and nutrition is only part of the equation. That's where the holistic, personalised health really comes into play, whereby you need to address the other fundamentals, and they're not things that anyone can, like any health professional can do. They're not things that your GP is going to sit down and talk to you about. These are all things that you get to tackle and address yourself, because you know your behaviours, you know your habits, you know who in your circle is a good influence on you and who is a bad influence on you. You know who makes you feel like down in the dumps. You know who makes you feel really good, and they're the sort of hormones that you're stimulating in your body on a daily basis. And if you, like the saying about if you sit around with the geese and instead of flying with the turkeys.
Yes, I have heard this. I think my
so like you want to actually be around people who stimulate you.
Yes.
And that's the same with my products. It's like, I want my products to stimulate you from the inside out. I want you to start like making better choices. Yeah,
definitely. And are your products, do you think they work for everyone?
Yes, so they are, obviously the unflavoured one will work for everyone.
Yes.
If you have caffeine sensitivity, then
of course, yes.
obviously you don't have the coffee one.
Yes.
If you don't really like having chicken, then obviously you're not going to appreciate the robust chicken flavour of the super bone. We do have other flavours that are being released before Christmas, which are very interesting.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like I've got people who have been vegetarians, and they are happily having the bone broth and the unflavoured, because they've intuitively started to understand that there is a necessity for them to have these building blocks in their bodies, these proteins in their bodies to stimulate the collagen build into their bodies.
Yeah, because they're very high in protein, aren't they?
Yes.
Yes, which is super important, because I feel like a lot of people don't get enough protein.
Statistically, I think the last time I checked, there was about 63% of Australians are not actually having enough good protein in their diets. And that probably accounts for why we do have soaring obesity rates, and COVID-19 has actually just helped that so much. We've all got the COVID crunch and just gone, oh, I'm feeling it, there's a little bit of extra, I've put on 10 kilos, I've put on 5 kilos. It's like, don't you dare go for a fad diet.
Yes, no, gosh, no. So again, obviously such a successful business owner, do you have any advice for anyone who wants to start a business or is looking at starting one?
Really know your purpose. I know my purpose and I live, breathe and eat it every single day. If you're just trying to sell a product, it's not going to work. Like I'm literally sick and tired of going through what I went through for 25 years, and there's no way in hell I actually want to see any person, any man or woman or adolescent go through what I've gone through in the last 25 years. If I could sit there and tell them that they just do need to actually address the lifestyle modalities that are around them, their environment, who they're with and what they're doing, and like, yeah, if you don't want to train like an athlete, don't eat like one. If you do want to do exercise, find out what exercise is going to work for you. Don't just go and do a 12-week challenge because you've seen an ad for it, or you've been told that's the next best thing. Or don't go on a green smoothie diet just because you've been told that you can lose 5-10 kilos. It's like, not healthy. Like you might lose it, but it's not for the long term. You're not going to keep that for forever.
Yeah.
So I guess is that I know my purpose is to actually educate people and give them the knowledge and the power to be able to heal themselves, to be able to make themselves a better person, to actually live and be healthier and not just exist and survive. Like our bodies are great at surviving. I'm a true testament of what I've put my body through over the last 40 years, and I can honestly say that our bodies are built to survive, and they will do anything and everything to actually ensure that happens, whether it means that they actually turn off and reduce your hormone levels so low that your metabolism just goes, nah,
not happening.
Not happening. And that's the thing, is like our bodies are equipped to do that, and if we put them in a state of inflammation for so long, they will misfire and they won't turn back on, and you'll seek food as a form of serotonin or dopamine or whatever you're lacking to actually make you feel good.
Yeah.
And that's where your unhealthy coping mechanisms can come into play, and they don't have to be food. They can be alcohol, they can be drugs, they can be exercise even. Like I've seen people go from means to extremes with exercise, and they've gone too far, and they've got the same mental and physical chronic fatigue as someone who has binge eaten and like I did, and turned to food, and I got that same chronic mental fatigue as well. So it's all about moderation.
Definitely. That's a great message, obviously, business perspective and business purpose. But I also hear you're a bit of a creative, and that you created a word. Is that correct?
Yes, so I did create a word. It's Serendacious. Ryan Sandylands, fellow co-founder of that word out there. we were having a couple of drinks one evening, and I came up with the word, and he's like, it's not even a word. And I'm like, yes it is. And I told him exactly what the meaning of it was and everything, and he goes, no, that's not the word. No, it's serendipity. And I'm like, no, serendacious.
I just created it.
So then we went one further, and we're like, right, we're going to get it put in the Oxford Word Dictionary, and we got told by them it has to be used by the greater public at least 99 times in posts and on blogs and all of those sort of things, and then it can actually be put in, and we're like, oh, excellent,
wow.
let's.
What a cool fun fact.
So we're not there yet, it's not in there yet, so we've got to use it a couple more times.
Wow, that's so exciting. Hopefully it gets in there. Right, so our Hepburn readers are very much motivated, ambitious women, much like yourself. So we have a few questions that you could maybe give some advice, or what's happened in your career that Hepburn readers can take away from this.
Okay, so I've worked in the corporate world for 25 years. Was doing 9 to 5s. 9 to 5s became 8 to 6s, became 7 to 7s, became 7 to 11s. All I was doing throughout that, I was actually using my work as a coping mechanism for other things that weren't optimum in my life. And I know that a couple of you out there, a few of you out there might actually go, oh yeah, I do that too. And it is all about balance. If you are constantly seeking achievement, which I am a master of achieving things. I love creating new things, love nailing them, and love going, yep, done it. Okay, what's next? But at the end of that, if you don't have that fulfillment out of doing it, what was the point of actually achieving it? Achieving it. So that's where I can actually attest to me jumping out of corporate and going, I'm going to be self-employed. And then I was a self-employed business, insurance business for 5 years, and then I just went, nah, I'm done. I'm done with corporate. I'm going to trade my 9 to 5 to starting a health business.
A risk versus reward.
And I've never looked back, and it's the best thing I've ever done in my life. It's been definitely a roller coaster, a very steep learning curve, and I've now come to know that there's a lot more to life than work, and rest and play are really integral, but doing what you love is more important than doing something that pays the bills, because your work can get taken away from you, and if that is your purpose, then if you have a steady 9 to 5 job in the travel industry or any of those other sort of industries that we've found over the last 8 months that your jobs have literally been taken away from you, then you lack purpose and you don't feel fulfilled. You don't feel like you are achieving anything.
Yeah.
So that's why mental health has become a really big thing in the industry lately, is that they're trying to address these problems, because people are not having that satisfaction feeling. They're not having the fulfillment. They're not being able to book cruises for people. They're not being able to feel the joy and happiness on the other end of the phone when someone comes back from having a lovely holiday.
Yeah, no, that's such a good point, especially from someone who's about to graduate. That's great advice for me to have. Don't put everything into your work. Obviously, it's important to be an element, but yeah. And so obviously, your business is obviously a passion of yours. Do you have any other passions or hobbies that you enjoy to do?
I enjoy my fish. I have a whole lot of. I've got 2 5-foot fish tanks that have a number of different cichlids in, and a freshwater shark. And
nice.
Yeah, so they're kind of like my babies and my pride and joy. I do like to cook and create. So I very creative in the cooking space, as well as cocktails and gastronomy and
all the good stuff.
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
So it's all about moderation.
Yes, of course. So is there anyone that you kind of look up to, who's inspired you over the last few years?
Well, I guess probably long term, I can say that my grandparents, Lady Diana, are very big key influences, and in my life, because they were all about being resilient, being true to themselves, having integrity, not giving up, just really being honest and loving. Then I look up to my weight loss surgeon and Dr. V, who is a bariatric weight loss surgeon in America. The reason why I look up to both of these is because they have a really, they're great technically. They don't have the most amazing bedside manners, which means that they are geniuses at their art. But they're very blunt, and sometimes you need to hear the harsh words. Yes. And when they turn around and they go, no, it's a you problem. You need to do this. Not me. I'm giving you a tool. You need to do it.
Yes.
And then once you actually can get yourself out of those sort of pity parties and go, oh, well, I have the power to make my own decisions. I have the power to choose what I put in my mouth. I have the power to choose whether I want to do high impact or low impact workouts, whether I actually even want to exercise. I haven't done any physical real exercise myself for 3 years and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Like my weight loss surgeon turned around to me and he said, Peter, for the first 6 months after you have had surgery, I do not want you to do any exercise.
And you were like,
and I just went, thank you, where have you been all my life? And I said, why? And he goes, your body is in such a state of inflammation from being so obese. And he had no word, like no qualms about saying that word. I'm just like, he called me obese.
Yeah, gosh.
And like, yeah, he just goes, Peter, you're obese category 4. You are in such your body is in such a state of inflammation that you doing exercise on top of that is just not going to help. So don't. And I just went, thank you.
I guess that kind of leads on nicely to my next question is if there's anything you could say to your younger self, is there anything that you would say? Or
don't, like, the struggles that you go through throughout life are what define you and what make you up being who you become. And I'd probably say don't be so freaking hard on yourself, and that there are so many learning opportunities out there as you go along, and you are going to find yourself, you're going to thrive, and it's going to, you will literally blow yourself away at what you can be when you stop limiting your own beliefs and when you stop listening to all the naysayers and you actually stop being a people pleaser and you actually start doing things for you and looking after you.
Yeah, which is super important. I guess, again, this leads in nicely as well. Have you had any challenges that you've had to overcome? And I guess, how did you overcome them? What helped, and how did you persevere through them?
Having a good friend circle is really integral, because they are the ones that are there to either give you a kick up the bum or to give you a hug or to just give you a poke in the side of the ribs and go, wait, come on. And I guess like when you know that you know your purpose, then you honest, like all I need to do is look at my brand and it just instantly makes me like get all warm and fuzzy and go, yep, you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I guess that's saying is it show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of applies there. And I guess my last question is like, how do you stay motivated and so positive, just in life in general and with your business as well?
Well, things can always be worse. So like I am very grateful for going through everything I've gone through in my life. At the time, there was probably countless expletives, a lot of crying, a lot of, it's not fair and all the rest of it. But looking back on it now, I'm actually just really grateful to go through all of the different ups and downs that life has given me. And I can look at it now and go, life is a walk in the park now, because I've actually gotten rid of and dealt with all of those things that were holding me back. And in essence, we are all holding ourselves back. It's not someone else's fault. It's not someone else did this and now I don't have this and now I feel like this, and it's like, no, you made yourself feel like that because that's the way you thought about it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you can get yourself out of that mindset and get back into a more positive mindset, and everything just starts to work out. Everything just starts to happen and unfold like it should be, because you're not focusing on negative stuff and the past. You're actually focusing on the positive, the future, and what will be. Yeah.
No, that's such a positive note to end on, I guess. Well, thank you so much for your time. I've really enjoyed chatting to you and learning about your businesses. But thank you and have a good rest of the day.
Thank you very much, Lee.
Thank you.